so we're doing a little unboxing here for the Rogue MG-4 review. And I'm actually impressed on how compact this whole thing is. To fit that bar into this nice little box is quite impressive. So this came separate, and I ordered a pair of the 16 and a pair of the 20-degree handles. However, only one box of 16s arrived. So I'm assuming the other ones are in here. Let's find out and see what happens with that. Okay. All right. There we go. So these are the stainless version. I really like how Rogue, I don't know if you can just catch that in the light. There it is. Labeled the angle on that. That's actually really cool. Nice feature, nicely done, Rogue. And initial impression is, of course, I like the wider diameter handles. We talked about that. But the knurling it's a little more passive than I would have liked to have seen. I would say this is somewhere around the same knurling as an Ohio bar, maybe a little bit less. That right there. This is cool. Little packing list. This is something that's really awesome. I actually haven't seen this from Rogue. So, no, that's really interesting. And this is just talking about all the standard things. Again, I don't see the other handles in here, but we'll have a look and see what we can find. All right, so one's coming out, and there's one of the straight handles right there. It's got a bit of a spot in the knurling. Looks like it's been rubbed off on something, but overall, not bad. All right, let's keep going. And I ordered it with the short sleeves.
Okay, there's one piece there. I'll just set that aside. And more packaging. I gotta say, Rogue did a great job with the packaging on this. Well done.
Did a nice job. So here's one of the sleeves coming out of there. And nice little end cap. Of course, Rogue is known for their end caps. And it's going to be a ribbed stainless sleeve. There's the bushing in there. You can see that. And then your threaded end with a, let's see if we can get this guy off, with a lock washer. And there's your Rogue wrench. Okay, so all that's left now is the main frame, and let's look at the overall quality of this bar and the frame. The welds look great. They are really nice welds. Some of the welds I saw online didn't look as nice as this. I gotta say, these look great. Let's get a little bit closer shot of this bar here for you. Now you can actually see this bar a little bit better, and you can see the quality of it. It does look really good. I really like the weld quality as well. So good build quality as you would expect from Rogue. I'll get the tape measure out. We'll look at some specs real quick. 7 inches onto the end of the frame, to the edge of the frame, which is my favorite width, and we'll talk about that more when we're actually using the bar. So now let's do some assembly, and we'll get these sleeves installed. So we got one sleeve installed right here, and it's really simple. Rogue's done a really cool thing with this is they actually have the lock washer basically recessed into the nut. So when the nut tightens down flush right here. And that's a really, really cool feature. These little tiny things like this, most people won't notice. However, the technical side of this that's a really cool feature. Nicely done there. I'm really impressed with how Rogue did that. So I'm going to go ahead and install the other side, and we'll come back to it. All right, we're back here, and I just want to give you guys a quick tip for anyone that's bought one of the MG bars. Doesn't matter if it's the narrow, wide, or if it's just the non-cambered flat version. What I found, and I've only moved these handles once, is the paint starts to get marred up pretty bad. You spent a lot of money on this bar. You probably don't want to mess up all your paint. I mean, for some people, they probably won't care too much, but if you do care at all about that, here's a quick solution for you. Go down to your local hardware store. You might be able to order some of these online, and these are basically little rubber gaskets, and you can also get them in a plastic as well, and they just fit over your, not try to drop the bolt again, but yeah, they just fit over top of the bolt. Now, this diameter here of this thread on this Allen bolt is actually 1/2 inch or close to it, but these are 7/16, and the reason I went with a 7/16 spacer is it fits tight to the threads, doesn't fall off. So if you buy the 1/2 inch one, this is going to be constantly falling off, and you're going to have to juggle holding onto that and the bolt and the handle. So just to make things easier, I just went ahead and got these in a 7/16, and they are pretty affordable. I'll show a picture of the exact ones I bought, and so you can see where I got them. Now, I hate to criticize this design because I really like this idea. Rogue's got a great design here, but this might have been something that for us spending this much money, throw in a few of these so we don't mar up the finish on the Allen bolts. So if Rogue designers are watching this is something that would be really nice to have. Probably wouldn't cost that much, but would make a big difference overall. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and adjust my handles. And after I get them adjusted, I'm going to show you how it compares to the rep bar. And I'm trying to mimic the handle placement that the rep bar has. I really like where those handles are. So the next photos you'll see is the handles in their new positions. All right, so I've got the rep bar right here compared to the Rogue MG-4, and this is the CN, so it stands for cambered narrow. And I'm just trying to give you guys, I'll show you some more pictures too as I'm talking here, some comparisons on the size. I think Rep did a really nice job by changing this new design to a much more compact design and bringing it much smaller. Same with the larger diameter handles. I really like what they did with that. And one thing that surprises me on the Rogue bar, and this is a major complaint with a lot of people that follow me, the only complaint that I kind of hear about the Rep bar is that they wish there was another set of handles out here. By going to the Rogue bar, by spending 3 times more money, you're not getting any more handle availability in terms of adjustability on this outer handle. Personally, I like this width. This width works for me really well, but I have had a lot of people tell me I wish there was another handle a little bit further out. Now, Rep had to do that to give you this large amount of clearance for re-racking the bar. Rogue, for reasons unknown, could have stamped, well, they probably wanted to keep your knuckle away from this nut here, but they probably could have moved that bar over maybe one more or somehow extended this frame. But the problem with Rogue's bar is that it runs out of space here for re-racking on your rack. It works on a Rep rack. It's pretty tight. I would say it's a little bit better than a Kabuki Cadillac bar, but it's definitely not as nice as the Rep bar for re-racking. But it is definitely usable, especially on the AM2 monos or any type of J-cup that sticks off your rack, and I'll show you in a second kind of what I'm talking about. So these are the 16-degree angled handles here. I have them mimicked in the same spot that the Reps ones are, and then when my 20 degrees show up, and by the way, update on that, Rogue sent me some tracking info that they did not get the 20-degree handles in my shipment, and they're being shipped out. I should have them here in a few days, but I'm going to set those up somewhere similar to that position there. So just wanted to give you guys a side-by-side comparison. And now in terms of feel, I'm going to compare these right now. So I'm going to set them up on both the racks and stay tuned for that. Let's see how they do. All right, so time to have some fun with the bars and do a direct comparison. So on my right side here on this rack, I have the rep cambered bar set up just with a set of 45s. And remember, the bar weighs 45 pounds. So I'm going light. I'm still recovering from my shoulder injury, so I won't be pushing super heavy today, but it'll give me a good feel between the two bars. And on the left in the rep 5000 power rack, sorry, I've got the Rogue cambered bar, and it's also set up with a set of 45s. Now, I opted to go with the short sleeves to keep the weight as close to 45 pounds as possible, and I really like that configuration, but let's see how it feels. I'm gonna end up probably fast forwarding through this, but I'm just gonna jump back and forth and do, say, reps of like 5 to 10, jump over the other one, and start on the other side, and then just go back and forth and see how it goes. All right, that's good. Hang on a second. Okay, you guys just saw me go back and forth between the Rogue bar and the rep bar. One thing I did notice for sure, and I have to say rep was at a disadvantage because I went straight from the Rogue bar to the rep bar. I did some stretching in between, but there wasn't a lot of time, and you'll see it in the footage. So rep was always the second set, the super set, which should have been my weaker set. But one thing I noticed is the rep bar is much more stable to hold on to. It's not moving all over the place. And you can see in the footage with the Rogue bar, I'm having to always try to steady it. It's just not well balanced. And I couldn't imagine it being any wider or longer with the longer sleeves, just how much more balancing and having to deal with that you'd have to mess with. So it's small, but it's definitely noticeable. The rep bar is much more balanced, and it could be the way that it's a little more compact with its frame. But the handles feel almost better on the rep bar. I want to say they might be a little bit bigger diameter. Knurling wise, I didn't feel like there was any advantage to the Rogue knurling at all over the rep knurling. I really like the Rogue bar. Like I said, it looks awesome. It's more, how would I sum it up? Is if you're really into the looks of your equipment and you're really picky about the aesthetics of your equipment and you want the best stuff, the Rogue bar is going to be a nice choice for you if you can afford it. Again, you're looking at a huge price increase. The bar that I priced out with the short sleeves in the stainless, I highly recommend you go stainless. That's the finish you're going to want to go with. And the short sleeves, they work really well. That's the other one I'd recommend. The stainless handles are worth it, so you don't have to deal with coatings or rust or anything. But still, I think that cost me about $700. So as opposed to the rep bar, which has the nice chrome sleeves, has nice knurling handles. The handle positions to me are perfect. And it's, oh man, I haven't checked the price lately, but I want to say it's around $300. I'll put a picture up to recent pricing on it as it does change. But that's my take on these two bars. I mean, it really, it all comes down to feel and comparing stuff right after each other. There's a lot of people that have only one bar and they can't compare it to other bars. I have a Titan bar over here too. I'm not even going to even bring it out. It's not something I recommend at all. But between these two bars here, you cannot go wrong. The other one I would look at also, of course, is the Elite FDS. But I feel that the Elite FDS bar, since using these, is a bit behind now. It has no knurling on the handles. Its sleeves just do not compare. I really would recommend you go with the rep. And if you can afford it and you really like the idea of the modular design of the Rogue handle adjustment, look at the Rogue. Do I think it's worth the $700 for a cambered bar? Oh man, that's a tough one. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend it for that price. I really think for most people, you're going to be able to buy two pieces of equipment. Let's say, for example, the rep cambered bar right behind me, and then also the rep SSB safety squat bar. You would get a ton more out of having those two pieces of equipment in your gym than just the Rogue bar. Honestly, it's nice, it's flashy, but it does not do anything more than the rep bar does. And I just proved it by comparing them side by side, and the footage shows how shaky one is versus the other. Now that's not a huge deal, but if you're spending $700 to $1,000 on a bar over $300, to me it should be more stable, it should feel better, and it should be noticeably better. I mean, completely noticeably better. I didn't feel there was that much of a difference. If anything, it was actually the rep bar felt better. So that's my take on it. That's my opinion from using both of them. You just watch me use them. And again, I'm just giving you guys feedback on it. I am a rep affiliate, but only because I buy a lot of rep gear. I really like their gear, and I've had their gear in the gym now for almost 2 years, where I've been using it 7 days a week. So that to me proves that it's worth what it is, and for the price, it's a good deal. That's why I am an affiliate of Rep, and their customer service is really, really good. So now, not to say that Rogue's isn't. Rogue has great customer service as well. So you can't go wrong with either one of these bars, but if you're looking for value, go with the Rep bar, and then if you want to spend the $700-800, buy the Rep bar and buy like a safety squat bar, you'll get a lot more out of having those two pieces than just one cambered bar that is really used for mostly one thing, which is an accessory to your bench. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I think I pretty much covered everything on the new Rogue MG-4 cambered narrow, the CN version. And again, I do not recommend the original version. I never have. If this one feels unstable like it does, the wider version would be much more unstable, so I would definitely wouldn't recommend it. So I know I might get some flack on this video from a lot of the Rogue guys, but again, hey, try them both. You guys tell me what you think if you have both these bars. Again, I don't think the welds are as good on the rep compared to the Rogues. Maybe the finishes, you know, could be debatable. However, I did have a couple issues with my Rogue bar. One, that it was full of rust, and also the fisheye pitted paint quality was quite low. So those are two small minor issues. I'm sure Rogue will help me with that and get that fixed. But still, those type of quality control issues to me shouldn't be on maybe a $700,000 bar, but it is what it is. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I've got lots more reviews coming, so stay tuned. We've got a ton coming this year. Cheers. Bye. Hey, what's going on? I'm going to throw this in the middle of my review, but I've got word back from Rogue. They sent me an email. They're going to be replacing the bar because of the small cosmetic issues there with that paint and some of the rust inside the hole. So shout out to Rogue, great customer service. One more thing too, I was thinking about it. It's been now a little while since I was training with this bar, and when I was giving you some feedback on the stability of the bar, and I came up with something that I think is a contributing factor to that, and that is the rotating sleeves. That's the biggest difference between this and the rep bar. So with those sleeves, and they're actually really nice sleeves, the bearings on them are awesome. They rotate really well with the bronze bushings, and that is going to probably be the reason why this bar is just a tad bit more unstable or unbalanced, is due to those rotating sleeves. So I just wanted to give a little follow-up on this review. And again, I really, really like this bar, and I'm really looking forward to getting the other set of handles, get those set up. But overall, I mean, it's really awesome. This new design, or the narrower version, is definitely a success. I really like it. Rogue's done a nice job with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Rogue will come up with this year or next year with some more innovations. But you know, again, great job and great execution on this. Like I said, the whole design and finish of it's really well done. So just wanted to do a little quick follow-up on that. We'll go back to review. Okay, see ya.